Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Brothers. Boom. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. I am your host with the most, A.D. Walker. What's up? Good morning, sports car lady. Cheryl in the building. Keita, good morning. Blessings to you, Lisa, as well. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for sharing. Sharing is caring. So I appreciate you guys being here, rocking and hanging with us. Um, so today we're talking about how to make uncomfortable moves. We talked about stepping out. We talked about making it, but how to make uncomfortable moves. So we're going to dig into that today. Um, so I think I might be joined by somebody else, but we gotta see. All right. So I appreciate you guys rocking and hanging with us. I appreciate you guys being a part of this journey. I appreciate you guys always supporting and being a part. If you haven't shown your support to the next level by purchasing one of our fabulous shirts, order your BOL apparel, go to www.brothersoflegacy.com, www.brothersoflegacy.com, and order your apparel now. Apparel, what a word. So we appreciate you guys being here, rocking with us. So I pray that this week has been well. I pray that all is well in your world. So like I said, today we're talking about how to make uncomfortable moves, the mindset, the thought process, the the getting out of your way, the mental challenge that you have to overcome in doing those things. And an uncomfortable move can be anything from a physical move, leading up to leading up to a move that would even if it's just networking and you're uncomfortable networking or talking about your business or yourself. What's up, Deborah? Good morning to you. Let me get my brother from another mother in the building. All right. Good morning, Pastor. Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back. Let's go. Let's see. Let's do this.
Missed you all. Hey, everybody.
Yes, indeed. We missed you as well. So today we're talking about, like I said, uncomfortable moves. We're going to be expressing our thought patterns and some of the challenges that we had to overcome and making those moves that were the craziest or the most uncomfortable, from the smallest networking to speaking, to making physical moves, our mindset and what we did internally to overcome them. All right. So stand back, stand down, and we'll be back right after this. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. And we're back. Welcome back in the building. All right. All right. See Mark in the building. MC Mark.
Pause for just a moment. Give a shout out. Happy birthday to Mark McCrory.
Oh,
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
He's an old head. He's an old head.
Happy birthday,
Double
Mark.
nickel. Double nickel today.
Double nickel. Nice. Nice.
Happy birthday, bro.
Yes, indeed. Happy birthday. So
So yeah, I was saying Mark's in the building. I was gonna say MC Mark. You know, I wonder everybody, I'm sure, especially the brothers in the 90s had at least one rap name.
Yeah,
MC.
that's Spoon. That's MC Mark, aka Spoon, aka Roundhead, aka Gibraltar, aka Get a Piece of the Rock.
There you go. Everybody got one. Oh man, there you go. Happy birthday. Yes, indeed. Oh, so yes. So today we're talking about making uncomfortable moves, how to make uncomfortable moves, and just talking from our experience, some of the things we've had to mentally prepare to do, and some of the angst and some of the blockage we had to get over in order to make a move. And so today we're talking about that. What's up, Sam? Good morning. She says happy birthday as well. Yes, indeed. Hey, Mama McCoy, greetings.
Mom.
Welcome. All right. So we're going to dig into that. So I know, Pastor, you made some moves as well, like physical moves. Let's see. Right. Look who's in the
Got a cameo.
Like,
look, it's been a rough week, Sam. Been a rough week.
Oh, on the what? On the Wi-Fi. So yes, so making uncomfortable moves, and what does it look like, and how do you prepare yourself when, even in speaking. Let me ask you this. Speaking of speaking, were you like, well, I don't want to say natural. I mean, I guess if you grow up in a certain household, it could be like, if you've grown up in church, I'm sure you probably from the age of 2, you've been in front of people, someone's probably been handing you a mic, say something, baby, so, that's the natural of like, I just been in front of a mic my whole life. So speaking in front of people is nothing, and I know for you, just like me, we didn't grow up in church. So speaking in front of people, was it something that kind of came to you, or was it something that you had to work yourself into doing?
I'm still working myself into it.
Well, that answers the question. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
It was never in me.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess it is in you.
Yeah.
Because you're doing it. So obviously it's in you, but
right.
I don't think I've ever been I don't think I've ever been comfortable speaking in front of people.
Okay.
Not like you, not like one would think.
Right.
I get nervous every time I have to get in front of people.
Right.
Never fails. Whether it's 3 people or 3,000, it doesn't matter.
Wow.
Unless I'm talking to my intimate, my family, my inner circle. But outside of that, I'm always nervous. Wow. It's always uncomfortable.
That's interesting.
Always has been.
That's interesting. I mean, I'm the same. Like, since I don't even know whenever the first time I probably had to speak in front of people. I can't even remember what that may have been. I probably just blocked it out. Probably a horrible experience I don't want to go back to. But yeah, I've always kind of, nervous. And I go through. I don't want to do this. I don't. Then it go to, you already told, either I told somebody else doing it, or you can't back down, can't get out of this, So it is the process of just doing it. That still, I feel the same. Just a quick insider. Me, when I start, I always talk fast. Like whenever my nervousness, I get into it fast. My wife, if you ever look at her, she's always like, slow down, because I just jump right in, because I it's like the hype. I got to get myself excited. I remember just the times when I started going live and trying to be consistent, coming up with content. Like, even when I have what I want to say, it's still like, it's trying to like just push myself to go live. It's like, hit the button and just go for it. hit the button, just go for it. And I think and I gotta hype myself up. So I gotta get myself high just to deliver, and so it is a rough process sometimes. It's just doing it, because it's always sound good when you're preparing by yourself, talking to yourself in the mirror, like, yeah, you got this, you're good, we're straight, but then it's always like the time before you have to do it, you start bubbling like, oh no, I can't do this. But it's like, yes, you got to do this.
Right.
so and it knows what's so funny about the making uncomfortable moves is kind of like you almost have to position yourself even in a have to do it moment. So what I mean by that, like if I'm gonna do something to speak, like, hey, Pastor, I'm making this goal to go live every day. So now I've told you, and I have to be committed, and accountable for my action. It's kind of like, once I tell you I'm gonna do it, it's like now it levels it up. Didn't you say you're gonna do this? Like now because when you ever make a goal for yourself in your mind, like, okay, today I'm gonna do such and such, but you can always flake out because it's only you. It's like how many goals have you set in your head? Weight goals or eating goals or exercise. Okay, tomorrow I'm gonna do this and that, and you can flake out because there's no one around you to hold you accountable but yourself. So I think when it making like uncomfortable moves, especially if it's just something in your space, and you got to do it. It's like you need to grab somebody and tell them, like, hold me accountable to this. This is what we're gonna do, or this is what I'm gonna do. Let's go. I'm gonna do this thing. Someone can say, hey, it's almost 8:00. You're supposed to be going live, So it's I think that's one of the first things that I guess I've learned without learning. The committing to making a move or committing to doing something. For me, I tell my wife, I said, hey, didn't you say you're gonna, so as a man, I can't back down. I can't look scared. I gotta do this thing. So I think so in speaking, because I know that's like a big thing. And like you said, Pastor, you still kind of feel it. I think, no one would notice because you've been doing it for so long that, you probably got your own mental process. No matter where you speak at, you find your own.
Well, you figure out how to do it.
Right.
It's that you to me, it's like it's something that you just do no matter how nervous you get.
Right.
That's what I learned. You got to do it anyway.
Right. Right. And I'm harping on it because I know a lot of people that get nervous speaking or don't ever want to have any level of speaking engagement. I just be here in the corner. Like you said, I'll speak to a small group of folks I know. I'll take one stranger, like everybody else I need to know. And just that's who I speak to, But if you're, with having greater impact, it's not about the numbers. It's just more audience, a different audience. Sometimes God calls you to spaces that are just uncomfortable altogether. And you gotta find a way, of course, there's the prayer, there's the seeking, there's the faith, but of course, there's the physical things that are happening in your body while you're trying to decide or trying to force your way through this wall or this invisible wall.
Like perspiration.
Right. Right.
I sweat, man. Yeah.
I'm not a sweater. Now, that's one thing I don't sweat. I'm the bubble guts, but I don't really sweat it out.
Yeah, I'm the sweater. I perspire. I've had people try to help me with perspiration.
Wow.
So people know.
Right. You need to put on a t-shirt.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter. Church, work.
Right.
Yeah, like I go to a business meeting. Wow. And I'm totally prepared.
Right. Good.
Right.
Good.
I got it down. I got 20 slides that I have to present, and I know them all by heart, in order. Right. And still, I have to keep my suit jacket on.
Wow.
I can't take it off until I leave the meeting
Right.
and I'm back in the car driving to the airport.
Wow.
That's when I take it off, and then I let the windows down so
Right.
that
So
I
you can drive. Nice.
Yeah, that's just it, man. I've learned now in church on first Sunday. No, I'm not gonna put my business out there.
You can put it out there.
That's okay. Nah. Certain things just don't have to be told.
We just
You wear robes on Sunday, on first Sunday, right?
Right. We're gonna leave it at that. We're gonna leave it at that. Listen, so make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Make sure you tag somebody. Let them know that the brothers are in the building. We are discussing how to make uncomfortable moves, getting over your mindset, and how to break through that fear wall, that invisible fear wall that we place upon ourselves. And so going into, like, of course, we're talking about speaking, making moves that are like gonna change like what you do, or change your finances. You ever make those kind of moves that are changing the finance, going to change the time you spend either with your family or not with your family? How do you feel about those kind of moves? Or,
well, I think we just talked about it like the other day,
Yeah.
right? And I was telling you about the transition from Northern California to Georgia.
Yep. Yes.
And how big a move. That was a big move. And,
Right.
and we were very comfortable in Northern California. But you have to believe that the outcome is better and more profitable to you and your family than your current state. Right. I mean, you have to believe that in order to have the courage to move forward. It's faith. You have to have the faith, but faith requires courage.
Right.
I can believe that it'll work out, but I still have to have the courage to move forward so that it can work out.
Right.
I believe God can do anything, but do I believe him enough to get up and move? Right. We know God is able to do anything.
Right.
But do you know it enough to have the courage to put yourself in a position for him to do that, quote unquote, anything in your life? Right. So faith requires courage. I truly believe that. And then you have to make sure, you have to believe that the purpose of the move is justified. We say it oftentimes in the church, the Lord said, your ladder shall be greater than your past.
Right.
In order for your ladder to be greater than your past, you got to make some moves. True. And some of those moves are uncomfortable. I heard this statement from, I got a glimpse of Dallas Wilson. I don't know if it was this past Sunday, but he asked his congregation, he said, let me see a show of hands. How many people drove to church this morning? Just see a show of hands. And then he asked, he said, okay, put your hands down. He said, now, how many of you drove to church without having to make a turn?
Okay.
Right. In order to get to your destination, you have to have the courage. You have to have the ability to make some moves. You got to make it. And some of those moves are going to be uncomfortable. You said, how do you make uncomfortable moves? As comfortably as possible is my answer. Right. You have to make yourself as comfortable as you can be in an uncomfortable shift. Right. Courage is it absolutely does not erase fear. Right. It is, all of this is in spite of fear.
Right. In spite of fear. Right. It's absolutely faithful.
Fear is what we do to ourselves.
Right.
Fear has nothing to do with God, God's power, God's ability. The Bible says, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. So you have to recognize this is something we have to do. We have to overcome our fears. That's what faith is. Faith overcomes fear.
Yes.
It's not the absence of fear. It's the presence of faith and courage. Absolutely, Sam.
Right. So it's making those moves and your mindset. How do you? Because in my mind, right. So I've been through those fearful moments, several thousand, and doing things that are just uncomfortable making moves. You know, I probably moved a lot, and I'm not in the military. so they were non-military.
Keep talking. I'll be
moves.
right back, bro.
All right. So yeah, so I've made a lot of moves, and in my mindset, you know, to really get me to a place to really make the jump is, and like Sim said, so at the end of that statement, she said, "Do it scared." A lot of times I hear people say, "I'm waiting for 52,000 confirmations of a move. I'm waiting for the best proper word or best proper timing to make a move." And a lot of times it's never going to be like a laid out carpet to make the move. It's, you know, and honestly, none of my moves have been a laid out carpet. A lot of them have just had to make the jump, pray for the best, and generally, and honestly, I've seen results later. You know, like it's you know, you're like, God, please show me something now, but you're in the midst of just making a move, making a shift, making the change, and during that journey, you may not see any results of your move immediately. So it's like, oh man, am I making the right decision? Am I making you know, and it's just kind of staying on track with the moves that you make. But when you get the word, you know, when you feel the push to make the move, you know, once you start getting the push, not to the 10, this is the time to make the move. You know, I get people, I hear that a lot. I'm looking for confirmation. Like, you've probably gotten it 1,000 times from 1,000 different places. You've gotten it. You just need to do what's been called for you to do. And I'm here, and it sound like church. You're not here by happenstance. So if you're hearing this is probably your opportunity or time to really make that move that you've been hearing for the last whenever, how much time. Because we get, like I said, we get caught up in our own fear, we get caught up in our own thoughts, we kind of make up things for reasons that we shouldn't. When making the move will be the best for us in the end, and we see it. And like Pastor was saying, you know, you got to know that making this move will be the best thing for you. You have to believe, you have to know it, and rest in that comfort, even though the move will still be uncomfortable. You know, you got to rest in that comfort, knowing that once you make that move, God bless you. Have a blessed day as well, Mark. And happy birthday. Happy birthday. I'd sing, but I don't want people to leave the broadcast. So we are, you definitely have to be willing to make that shift, make that change, and not allow your mindset to keep you from making that move. Or, and sometimes, you know, we always talk about sharing, and they're not always haters. They just can't see what you see, if that makes sense. You know, if you're about to make a move, even going to speak, so why are you doing that? What's the reason? What's the purpose? What's you know, you already know what's in you to do, but you start talking to people and, you know, trying to seek some level of counseling, and folks can't see what you see. And sometimes it's even hard to describe what you see. And they can only give you advice based on the information you share with them, and I don't like saying level, but and the things that they see and what's in front of them. So you have to understand that as well. So sometimes, you know, we always try to label everybody. They're not a hater. They're just sharing with you from their perspective, you know, the place that they're at. And then even, I think sometimes, like we talked about, breaking through walls when you've been hurt, or past relationships. If they've been in a space that you're going to, you know, they're going to share their experience, you know, and their experience may be totally different because of how they handled it. But we're not going to get into the intricacies of that. They're just going to share, well, I did the same thing, and this is what happened. You know, like, you know, their mindset was wrong. How they handle it was wrong. You know, you're going in it from a different space, but you may not know that. So you got to listen. You got to know backstory sometimes, and it's rough, because that's why I'm having this conversation. I'm sharing that piece because I know I've talked to this person. I've talked to that person. Because, like, if you felt like a move like 10 years ago to invest your $100 in cryptocurrency, and you started asking people about it, crypto, it seems like a scam. Crypto, it'll never work. Crypto,
Yeah,
is not
like
doing
network
anything.
marketing.
Right, right,
You know,
right,
oh man,
right,
network marketing is great. Yeah, it is great if you were in 20 years ago.
right,
Come on, join my
right,
team.
right.
You got in on the ground floor. Nah, I'll pass.
Right.
I mean, that's the mindset that you have,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So it all depends on where you are in that,
yes,
right? Which
definitely,
makes it uncomfortable for other people versus comfortable.
definitely,
You know,
definitely.
um,
Sam said, different people, different experiences. Yes, you're right. Don't wait for folks to affirm your decisions. Don't
yeah,
wait till folks affirm your decisions. Yeah,
yeah. If you're seeking the approval of others, everything will be uncomfortable.
yeah, 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 yeah.
That's why you have. That's why I look. It's funny. My wife just sent an affirmation to our family on text, a daily affirmation, right?
Right,
And the message is you have to create your own affirmation, right? What we try to do is give people the messaging that you can apply to yourself,
right, right,
right? I don't want to affirm you. I want you to affirm yourself. I want to encourage you to affirm yourself
right,
so that you're not depending on me telling you, go have a great, it's great for me to tell you to go have a great day. You're
right,
marvelous. You're awesome. You're great. You're all, you know, you're all these things.
right.
But if you can't tell yourself,
Hmm.
everything becomes uncomfortable for you.
Right,
To Samantha's point, I can't depend on everybody else's affirmation. It sounds good,
right,
but I got to have something inside. So, when it comes to making moves, you have to be comfortable in yourself
right.
that you're able to move forward, that you're able to do this thing. And sometimes, I've had doubts that I would even be able to successfully, execute.
Hmm.
Right? I mean,
Right,
I'm human.
right,
Am I going to get this done the right way? Am I going to be able to do this? Am I going? Well, I'll never know unless I step up to the plate.
right,
You know,
right,
um,
right.
and if I'm not able, if I'm unsuccessful, then I've just learned a new way how not to do it. You know?
Right. I'm not gonna tell you not to do it, but don't do it this way. Right?
That's kind of it,
I
man.
tell you what I did wrong.
Yeah,
That is funny. That is funny. Yeah. So it's knowing, being comfortable in your decisions, being comfortable in the space that you're stepping into, even when you have the bubble guts and it gets kind of rough, and even with the people around you, not being the encourager that you want, not pushing you like you hoped or expected, because sometimes you find out about something, you get on a high, you're excited, and then you share, and it kind of makes take the air out, and all your little feelings is hurt, and you're like, I see this thing so clear. You don't see this thing, like,
yeah, yeah,
and it's those kind of moves that you just kind of jump, and like, of course, they're looking for the "I told you so." I told you that wouldn't work, you know. But it's life is about risk. Many of the things, even getting into marriage, is a risk. These things are life changing. They become helpful, but they're all a risk. You never know what's going to happen. What the Bible says, don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will take care of itself. So we aren't to worry, and even going from driving is a risk. Walking down the street is a risk, but we walk in faith. When we walk in faith, not by sight, we know our direction that we're going in. And a lot of times to move to the space that God wants us to be, there's going to be another jump. It's I always equate life is like a game. Like you always, each level, there's always bigger gaps that you have to jump from one level to I think about Pitfall. Remember, you had to grab the little thing and the time and jump off correctly. Like it's always, there's always going to be some set of challenges, and
yeah.
in life, yeah, you're gonna be you're gonna have like comfortable times, and then now it's time to be uncomfortable again. You know, I realize like you go through everything's cool, but now it's time to make that move. If you're really looking for improvement in your life, doing God's will, there's always going to be another level. There's always going to be another challenge that you're going to face that's going to push your faith, push your life, you know, spaces you need to step into to be more of a blessing. You know, and like we always talk about, it's not about numbers, it's just about impact. And having that
in certain cases,
Yeah.
sometimes it is about numbers, right?
Right. Okay.
It really is. You know, there's certain. I mean, just keeping it real, man. You know, everybody wants a following for the most
Right.
part.
Right.
You want someone paying attention to you.
Right. True.
You
True.
know?
True.
And that those numbers vary. You know, some
Right.
people want an army, some people want a team, some people want a group. I mean, I don't know what it is, but you want someone's attention.
Right.
You know, nobody wants to be a hermit.
Right.
I don't think. I don't believe that introverts want to be hermits.
Right.
They just have to overcome. You know. Anyway,
Yeah.
I guess my point is, Noel Jones wrote a book many years ago called Battle of the Mind.
I remember that.
You remember that?
Mhm.
And in this book, he talks about, you know, the corridors of the mind and how the mind thinks and how the mind can play tricks on you.
Right.
And part of the emphasis is if you can overcome it in your mind, then you can overcome it in your circumstance. Right. And what I've learned over the years is, you know, life is about overcoming. It's overcoming challenges, overcoming and negotiating obstacles and all of that kind of stuff and figuring it out, you know.
Right.
But it's about stretching. It's about stretching your faith. It's about stretching your mindset, stretching your dimensions, all of those things, knowing that anything is possible when you can put your mind to it.
Right.
Right. And so I think the most discomfort we'll ever experience is in our mind. I'll be more uncomfortable in my mind than I'll ever be in a tight pair of pants.
Right.
You understand
Right. Yeah.
what I'm saying? And so the discomfort in most cases is spiritually, emotionally, you know, psychologically, you know, that's where the discomfort lies in. And so you have to learn to overcome those areas. You have to learn to expand those barriers, stretch those dimensions in your mind that enables you to make moves that are otherwise uncomfortable.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And the way that you do that is through experience. You realize, wow, the last risk didn't kill me.
Right.
Right. I'm still here to talk about it. So let's move forward. Let's do something else. My last investment, you know, it kind of hurt me, but I'll never get there if I never invest again.
Wow.
You know, that it's like, you know, it's the ability to overcome, to bounce back. You know, all of those things play a role in executing something that may feel uncomfortable.
Right.
You know, you said getting married, you know, giving yourself to someone.
Right.
That, you know, that's not. For someone will say that's comfortable, but to commit yourself is to put yourself in a position or an arena that should be uncharted territory. I've never been here before.
True.
Right. Because I've never, even if you've been married before, I've never been here before with this person.
Right.
Right. And so you're having to let go of something in order to grab a hold of something that's beyond you, bigger than you. And that can be uncomfortable because now you have a dependency, an interdependency on someone else. Right. And so those moves can be uncomfortable, you know, relocating from one place to the next, changing jobs can be uncomfortable, even though it's a tremendous opportunity. You know, with new opportunities come new responsibilities, and some of that stuff can make you nervous.
Yes.
You know, but again, you'll never get there if you don't make the move.
Right.
You know, you got to make the move.
You got to make a move. You got to know growth comes with moving. You know, you become
Cam Newton right now is very uncomfortable.
Right.
Right. He truly believed that he was getting ready to be the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots.
Right.
Been with the team for a year, you know, and he wakes up one day and he's been released and the rookie got the job.
Right.
Everybody believed it was Cam Newton's job, including Cam Newton. All the Commentators, everybody believed it was
Right.
Cam Newton's job, but there started to be some rumblings. Ooh, this guy Mac Jones is playing well. He's doing good. He's doing everything Cam's doing. The numbers are equal. Yeah, but he's a rookie. You don't throw a
Right.
rookie to the wolves,
Right.
And then they not only do they make the rookie the starting quarterback, they release Cam Newton, right? Former MVP,
Yeah.
and so now he's out there as a free agent.
Right.
He's got to make a move.
Right.
He got to make a move.
Wow.
What are you going to retire? He got too much football left in him. Not going to
Right.
retire. So what are you going to do? I know life is very uncomfortable for him, but guess what? Life is equally uncomfortable for that quarterback who was chosen to be the number one the starting quarterback,
Right.
Mac Jones.
That move. Right.
Right. Like now
Right.
I have to perform because they let Cam Newton go.
Right.
It's my team now. I got to be the man. I got to get out here and I got to make these moves.
So Cam
I got to make Cam should got the vaccine.
Right.
I'm saying, but there's I think Cam Newton's uncomfortable. I think Mac Jones is uncomfortable too. Right?
big.
Because you now are being perceived as the heir apparent to a Hall of Fame, the winningest quarterback in history, NFL history.
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
So so I'm saying that it has to be uncomfortable. So, but there's some things that you have to overcome. Cam Newton has to overcome his disappointment. He's got to overcome his anger. I'm sure he got to be mad. Right. He called that kid Mac and Cheese, by nickname.
Right.
But Mac and Cheese beat you.
Right.
And I'm like, and so you have to tell yourself, I'm still as good as I was during that competition.
Yes.
I'm not any less.
Right.
And I'm still ready to go out and play. And that's the message that you have to send to the NFL so that someone can pick you up.
Right.
In addition to maybe going to get the vaccine.
But you're getting in that
Yeah. So what's your next move? What's the next move?
Right.
Because it has to be calculated.
Right.
And it ain't comfortable because they're gonna talk about you.
Right.
Right.
So that's making that journey, and then kind of things shift.
Yeah.
When that's a whole nother topic. When things shift, and the trajectory changes.
They took my crown, but I'm still king.
Right.
You have to affirm that to yourself.
Yes.
Before anybody else speaks.
You're right. You're right.
And so I think a lot of us find ourselves in situations like that. You lose a job and now you got to make another move. You don't like how you were let go. You get broken up with.
Right.
What's your next move? Or you break up with somebody else. Maybe you're the one who decided to turn and go another way.
Right.
And you got to make a move. That's the move to terminate anything is uncomfortable.
Right.
It's uncomfortable. So I think that there's so many factors that come into play, but I think it begins with your faith. When God called Moses, man, right? I mean,
yes,
I'm a shepherd. I herd sheep.
Right.
And they're not even mine. They're my father-in-law's.
Right. I didn't get these sheep. I didn't even build this up.
Right. And now you want me to herd people that actually talk?
Right.
That have emotion,
yes,
right?
Indeed.
We're enslaved. Yes, and I gotta go get them from the folks that used to be over me.
Right.
I mean, I can't even. Can you imagine being up there on the mountain? And God is saying, I've heard the cries of the people. I'm sending you. That's how I felt. That's how I felt when I was called to
the deal breaker.
Talking part is a deal breaker. Right. You want me to go preach to people?
Right.
What? With my background, where I come from? Seriously? Right. Somebody's actually going to listen to me?
Right.
Come on, man. That's uncomfortable.
Yes, indeed.
It's uncomfortable.
Yes, indeed. I think it's getting out of, where your position defines you, where you're at, doesn't define who you are. You know, Moses was in the palace. He was almost like second to the second, and he was right there, but it wasn't defining who he is, or even who he became. You have to know who you are, and don't let, because a lot of times people get jobs and have them for 40 years, and they feel like that position defines who they are, even if it's a great job and they have a manager, they run in 1,000 people. It's not who you are, because once you lose it, then you lost yourself. So you gotta understand, positions are temporal. Positions aren't forever. You could be shifted from one space to another. And I think a lot of the problem is we get stuck in position. We feel like, this is where I'm supposed to be, like Cam was. This is it. This is my spot. And when the shift happens, or the rug gets pulled from under us, we lose ourselves, because we allow ourselves to be defined by a position. And those are the moments that make it hard to make moves, because we feel like I'm supposed to be here because this is my position. But that's not the position you're supposed to hold for the rest of your life. This is for a moment. You're learning from this spot, because I need you in some place greater. I need you in some place, another space, to do something else. So allowing yourself not to be defined by position makes making a move a little bit easier when you realize, okay, it's time to move from this spot to the next spot. Because I've learned what I'm supposed to learn. I've done what I'm supposed to do. And now I need to make the transition. Sometimes we stick in the spot too long because we think, I don't know I guess in the beginning, because I used to think it too, they won't survive if I'm not in this spot. Like this company won't, this store won't make it if I'm gone.
Yeah, to me, I find out it's more about disposition than it is about position.
Position, right? Right.
That's the key there. Knowing where you are internally makes all the difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. That's good. That's good. Let's see. All right. So we appreciate you rocking with us. We're not leaving yet. Take a short break, and we'll be right back after this. Sure. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. So real quick, I appreciate you guys rocking and hanging with us. Make sure you're sharing. Make sure you're tagging other people to be a part of this conversation. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, because we're having a special guest on, as we talk about kids and the culture of kids in school and how the fathers interact. We're going to have a deep conversation with Dr. JL. I went blank there. Dr. JL, let's just stick with that. Jeez, this age mine. All right. But yeah, definitely check us out tomorrow. But today, like I said, we're talking about how to make uncomfortable moves. And I think early in the week, Pastor spoke about when he made the move, and I think Brianne or Rachel or both maybe dealing with asthma a little more than the regular, and how he felt.
No, they had never had any respiratory.
Never.
Yeah. Rachel was born in July.
Okay.
Brianne was like 18 months. We moved to Georgia in October of 2004.
Right.
And by before Thanksgiving, both were in the hospital.
Wow. Wow. So
Yeah,
making a
not
move
even a
like
month.
that is you're thinking, should I be here, or should I have made this move, or should I have come? When
Yeah.
things don't seem to go right. You know?
I had never seen an asthma room in a
Wow.
hospital.
Wow.
We moved.
Wow.
We took him to the children's hospital here, and they had a room designed just for asthma patients.
Wow.
And I was like, forgot that in my research. You know,
I didn't see that. Right. Yeah.
craziest thing I'd ever seen in my life, man. I been in a lot of hospitals, had never seen an asthma room.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was crazy.
Wow.
So we were looking at each other like, what did we do?
What do we do? What do we do to our babies?
Yeah, and then it's like, Lord,
It's you.
yeah,
Wow. Wow. That's crazy. But all things worked out. All things worked together.
Yeah.
So we're grateful he didn't change his mind and go back.
I was thinking about the guy. I was thinking about this elder who at our last service, he said in front of the whole church, "They'll be back."
Wow.
Right. He put that out there. Like, we're telling them God is shifting us, and this elder literally said, "They'll be back."
Wow.
I had the
Wow.
microphone in my hand at the time.
Yeah.
And forgot I had the microphone in my hand. And I very comfortably, in an uncomfortable moment, proclaimed, "Satan, the Lord rebuke you." And you could hear people in the church saying, "Well." It was a very uncomfortable moment. And a storm came.
Oh wow.
Outside. Like, it got really dark outside, and it started raining ferociously.
Wow.
As we were closing out the service.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
So people in the church was like, "Ooh."
This is dramatic.
It's a sign.
Dramatic. Right. Wow, right. Evidence.
Oh, it was deep. It was deep, man.
Wow.
It was deep.
Wow. Church is something else sometimes. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Oh, yeah. Wow. So yeah, that's yeah. So
it was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right. But we had to make a move.
Right.
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 I believe God had spoken, and that was it. And just like I said, that's just one. Because I've moved several times in my life. I've changed jobs. I've done things. That require a total confidence in execution.
Right.
No matter how uncomfortable you are, you have to have the confidence in your ability to execute.
Right.
You can destroy yourself half executing when you've made a decision to do something.
Right.
If you're not all the way in,
right,
you can really hurt yourself. So, when you talk about making uncomfortable moves, make sure you count up the cost, make sure you've done your homework. Right. That's just the truth. You have to believe in yourself. You've got to believe in something that's even beyond you. You got to believe in the God that is directing you. Prayerfully, God is directing you to do whatever it is that you're doing. Right. But I don't care whether it's making a decision on where you're going to dinner.
Right.
Right. Or an investment in a home, a property, right, a relationship, a career, right, school, academics, surgery, right, weight loss. It really doesn't matter. It's all of these things can be uncomfortable if you don't put the right mindset into it.
Right.
And even with the greatest mind, with the greatest charge and the greatest confidence, you can still be uncomfortable. Because I had all the confidence in the world that God was directing us, but it was still uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because you're giving up comfort. You're giving up space, giving up positions like I'm good and straight. You know, things are going great. You know, we're on this line. Let's go. Let's just stay here. Stay right here. But you know, when it's time to make the move, you gotta make the move.
You know, people don't understand when the Bible says lay aside every weight that would so easily beset you. Some of the weight that you have to lay aside, it's not like just taking a t-shirt off. You know, you get to the track and field and they out there and they start out with the sweatsuit on, right? And the closer they get to the race, you know, the jacket comes off.
Right.
The closer they get to the race, the t-shirt comes off.
Right.
Closer they get to the race, you know, the sweatpants come off.
Right.
The closer they get to the race, the heavy shoes come off and the lighter shoes come on.
Right.
You know, and I'm saying, you know, you have to take some of these, shed some of these things, but some of the things that you have to shed are painful to shed.
Right.
Right. Because I've got, you know, in order for me to get closer to someone, I have to come out of myself. I've got to shed selfishness and self-centeredness.
Right.
Right.
That's true.
In order for me to invest in someone else, I have to sacrifice. I have to give of myself.
Yeah.
Right.
True. That's true.
When you make the decision to have children, you know, life is no longer really all about you. It's about this life that you're bringing into the world. When you get into a relationship, it's more than just your comfort. It's someone else's, and you have to appeal to that. And I'm saying some of the things that you have to shed in order to make a move can be emotionally, psychologically painful, you know, and you've got to get out of self. That's real, man. Again, there's so many factors to making uncomfortable moves that.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. All right. So hopefully we gave you a little bit of something to chew on as we go into the rest of the week. Making that move, being uncomfortable, doing those things that are not that easy.
But remember what Romans 8:28 says, for we know that all things work together for the good of them who love the Lord.
Yes.
Who are the called according to his purpose. Understand your purpose.
You got to go higher. For the call. But yeah, understand your purpose. Understand your purpose. All right, guys. We appreciate you for rocking and hanging with us. Make sure you continuously share. Be a part of our text community. Text LWN to 84576. Text LWN to 84576. Make sure you are staying aware, staying prepared, continuously wearing your mask. I know. I don't like them either, but please keep doing so. And we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, same time, same channel. So always be safe. Know that God loves you. Know that we love you, but God loves you more. And keep praying for us. Keep praying for us as we continue with the Brothers of Legacy, as we grow and we reach out further into the highways and byways. Reach out further across this nation. All right. So we look forward to seeing you guys same time, same channel. And that's all. Peace out.
As always, we love you. Know that God loves you more. Stay safe. Thank you guys for rocking, hanging, being with us. Sharing is caring. All of my replay peoples that watch in the background that I know see this show, I appreciate you as well.